Scourge was an expert swordsman. At the academy, even the instructors had been reluctant to face him in the training ring. When the dark side flowed through him, his blade was more than a weapon. It became an extension of his will. Captain Yarri's skill with her electrostaff was impressive, but ultimately she was no match for a Sith Lord. Knowing this, she had wisely adopted a defensive style to hold off the first few flurries of Scourge's attack, her focus on stalling him long enough for one of her companions to join the fray before switching to a more aggressive form. Now Scourge was forced to defend himself on two fronts as he backed into the throne room. In his peripheral vision, he saw that Meetra was in a similar situation, retreating while battling a pair of enemies. The fact that Revan hadn't come to their aid told Scourge that the Jedi had gone to confront the Emperor, conjuring up images from Scourge's vision of him lying broken and beaten on the floor at the Emperor's feet. Yarri's staff slipped through his defenses and clipped him on his right shoulder. Scourge's armor absorbed the worst of the blow, though he felt a painful jolt from the electrostaff's charge that made his hand and arm tingle. Even as Scourge cursed himself for allowing thoughts of his vision to distract him, he deftly switched his blade from his temporarily numb right hand to his left. The move was dangerous. It left him momentarily vulnerable as he made the switch. Fortunately, his opponents were unprepared for the unorthodox tactic, and neither was able to take advantage. While he and Meetra fought the quartet of guards, T3M4 was busy sealing the doors. The droid was spraying black foam along the edge where the double doors came together. Scourge recognized the foam as a powerful contact adhesive commonly used to repair starships. Seconds after being exposed to air, it would harden into a substance that could be cut only with a plasma torch. Yarri's blade nearly caught him again, narrowly missing his cheek. Scourge swore out loud. If he didn't stay focused on the fight, his vision of the Emperor killing him wouldn't even have a chance to come true. "Go help Revan!" Meetra shouted to T3 as the astromech finished his task. Scourge pressed his attack, calling on the dark side to transform his uncertainty and fear into white-hot rage. He felt the power coursing through him, the spark of fury deep inside him, igniting into a firestorm of death and destruction. Left-handed, Scourge unleashed a pair of savage chops at Yarri's partner, using raw, brute strength to overpower his physically weaker opponent. The guard parried the blows, but the first knocked him off balance, and the second sent him stumbling backward. While the guard struggled to recover, Scourge focused his assault on the captain. Yarri sensed the shift in her opponent too late to switch back to a more defensive form, and the Sith Lord was quick to exploit the tactical flaw. A 4-move sequence overwhelmed Yarri, causing her to leave her right flank unprotected. Scourge seized the opportunity, his blade biting deep into her hip. Yarri screamed, dropped her blade, and fell to the ground. The other guard leapt to her defense, recklessly throwing himself between his fallen captain and Scourge. The only reward for his effort was a quick death, delivered by a diagonal lightsaber slash across his chest. At Scourge's feet, Yarri fumbled to reclaim her weapon. The agony of her wound made her desperate and clumsy, giving Scourge time to relish her suffering. As her fingers wrapped around the hilt of her electrostaff, he brought his boot down on the top of her hand, crushing the bones. He stared into the captain's eyes one last time, savoring her terror, before decapitating her with a single stroke. "We have to help Revan!" Meetra shouted, and Scourge turned to see that she too had just finished off her opponents. "He needs us!"